I feel like having a face tattoo is even more unsure, it's out there, and it kind of make me express myself even more. If I've got my body tattooed, it can be easily covered if I want to, but the fact that I've got it straight up on my face, I'm probably gonna get more as well. It's just a proper statement to like, okay, that's me, and it's always there. Every time you see me, you can see that statement straight on my face, basically. That's why it makes me so confident, because I'm not scared to see like, okay, that's me, and that's my way to show it. I'm Dominga. I come from the UK, originally from Italy. I'm a tattoo artist specialized in blackwork illustration. I had a really nice childhood because I grew up in South Italy. Like, it's a very small town, really pretty. Of course, when you're a teenager and you've grown up there, the mentality can be very close-minded because, of course, it's a Catholic small town in South Italy. So tattoos are not really a thing there. Maybe you can have like some very small one, but it's more still like very much of a taboo. People were very judgy, unfortunately. And still now, I don't particularly love go home because I'm gonna be judged quite a lot, to be honest. But my parents are really, they're really lovely with me and they don't care about it anymore. Of course, when I first told them I wanted to be a tattoo artist, they would be like, oh, that's a bit crazy. But at the end, they're actually they're really lovely with it. So. When I was like 16, 17, I really want to get tattooed. And I convinced my mom when I was 17 to get tattooed, and we had to travel like 3 hours for the first tattoo artist there. My mom, she likes small tattoos, so I convinced her that I wanted to get tattooed saying I wanted a small tattoo. So that, it's okay, but I had to convince her for like a month, and I had to save my own money to then be like, oh mom, I really want a tattoo and I've got the money for it, you just please need to bring me there and sign the paper because I was 17. And she was like, okay, if it's a small tattoo, I'll bring you there. And we go there, the tattoo artist showed me the design that was really small, and I was like, looked at that when my mom wasn't there, I was like, nah, I want it much, much bigger than this. And we did much bigger tattoos. So my mom just saw it when we already started tattooing it, and she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, sorry, I told you I wanted to get tattooed. I never had a plan at the beginning when I was getting tattooed, and that's the reason why I have to cover most of my tattoos. This is a cover up because I have a massive crow here. This is a cover up of a really, really bad one. Yeah, there's a few more I want to cover like this. Really want to cover it because I don't like old school anymore. But at the beginning, it was just like, oh, I just need to get tattooed. So whatever I wanted, like it was just very, oh, I'm gonna go there and get tattooed, whatever I'm gonna get, it's fine. And now, of course, tattooing as well, I'm like, oh, I should have just brought these for, yeah. So if I could start back over when I was 17, getting my first tattoo, I would definitely done things very differently. Because it's just for the amount of space I lost, because now I have to do cover up, and I don't like laser. Like laser is not an option for me because I saw people getting it done. I'm like, nah, I like heavily tattooed, I'm just gonna blast over and do black work on them. So because of that, definitely I'm like, if I just thought that in a better way, I could have get done much better work without have to work around things. Like the tattoo on my legs are really bad. So now to get a sleeve, of course, like the artist would have to go around. So you got more limited freedom on it because it's cover-ups. So I very much regret that because now I find myself like covering a lot of things, but now I definitely have a plan. So mainly like blackwork tattoos, absolutely love them. I like really ornamental blackwork tattoos and realism. So now I definitely have a plan, and like this is gonna be like all realism, my legs are gonna be all blackwork. But yeah, it took me a few years to be like, no, this is not gonna work if I don't have a plan. Getting more tattooed, I started to notice people look at me much more, but not in a threatening way. People are just very interesting, or maybe because I live in London, so people are just very open-minded about stuff. And also when I see a old lady in the tube, they just look at me and tell me like, oh, this is really beautiful. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But definitely like when I had my finger done, because they're always on show, everyone stopped to look at my finger, everyone wants to take picture of them. It's really nice. Like I never had negative comment, but for sure there's people that are gonna look at me and be like, what the fuck? Or like very like thinking negative for, but everyone's been pretty nice. Then when I did my face as well, actually a lot of friends really told me off for that because they're like, what the fuck are you doing with your face? I don't think it's that bad, like you can barely see it. I think my idea of being heavily tattooed is quite crazy, so I don't think I'm that much on my face. It's quite nice. I convinced my friend to do it because it was the only one that I trusted, because of course it's my face. And she was like, okay, I'll do it, but if I f you up, I can't be your friend anymore. I was like, okay, I'll take the risk of it. My family, I think, because of course, so every time I get a tattoo, I always just take a picture of it and send it straight to them and be like, I've got a new tattoo, just to know. They didn't see me yet with it because I haven't gone home for like a year, so they just had a picture of it, so maybe they don't know how bad it is. But I think they're really happy with what I'm doing with my career at the minute, so they're just like, well, at the end of it, it's your career, so fair enough. We wish you didn't tattoo your face, but I guess it's okay. My friend instead were like, of course, like not tattooed friends I have, they always like, oh, come on, that's a bit too much, you're just so beautiful, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know, this is kind of a beauty though itself. Kind of, like I felt much more confident, much more pretty. Look at me in the mirror with this face tattoo. I feel like having a face tattoo is even more unsure, it's out there, and it kind of make me express myself even more. Like if I've got my body tattooed, it can be easily covered if I want to, but the fact that I've got it straight up on my face, I'm probably gonna get more as well. It's just a proper statement to like, okay, that's me, and it's always there. Every time you see me, you can see that statement straight on my face, basically. That's why it makes me so confident, because I'm not scared to see like, okay, that's me, and that's my way to show it. I think tattoo seen as an addiction can be different for everyone. In my case, it's just like a self-confident thing and a way to express myself. Definitely I grew up as a very alternative person, be very bullied when I was in high school. So this is my way to just make myself more confident and yeah, definitely like showing myself. But I think it's like, of course it's like a good addiction for that because it's like an addiction to make myself confident better. But I also think like that every person's got a different way to see tattooing. It's like maybe it's just a beauty, it's not just about the self-confidence. When I look at myself in the mirror after a new tattoo, I just like so happy about it. Like when I did my black work, I was almost crying in the mirror. I just felt so relieved how much that made me happier, how much I got rid of something that I didn't want because I had a tattoo up there. And it's kind of like, it's the same when you kind of do something in life, like they offer you a job that you really like and it's just very satisfying for you. You're kind of like progressing in your life to get to the point you want. And I see tattooing the same way. Every time I do one, it just makes me feel so happy and I'm progressing so much into my life and getting what I want that, yeah, it's just amazing.